Hello my friends, welcome back to another slow flow. Before we get started, this is a shorter version of a longer class that we have in our Patreon account down below. This is where we'll go into the asana sequence in a little bit more depth, as well as include more pranayama and meditation. So if you are curious about deepening your yoga practice with me, then that's a place that you can go and do so. Today we're going to be focusing on our third niyama, which is part of the philosophy series that we've been holding since December. And this is tapas. And tapas can translate to kind of discipline or inner fire, and is often associated with accepting pain as purification for pleasure. So understanding that challenging things are needed in our life in order to cleanse ourselves and to purify and build strength. We're going to take a different kind of spin on this today because it's going to be very slow, almost yin-like. We're going to be focusing on inversions and very gentle inversions using a chair. And the reason why I wanted to do this is because we've got an Agni, a fire within us. And when we go upside down, the direction of the flame turns upside down to burn through energetic waste called apana. We'll talk about that more in the Patreon account down below. So we'll be holding just a couple of poses today that encourage that flow of energy. Very simple, very easy. Well, not easy, but just very cleansing. Okay, we're going to get started on our seat if you have one. And very simple, the first asana that we're going to hold for a few minutes is a forward fold. So plant your feet down. You might like to have your feet a little bit closer together. And tucking the chin in, might feel nice to kind of wrap the hands behind the legs. And you could stay with your knees bent. If you wanted a deeper hamstring stretch, you could extend the legs out a bit more. Knees could be bent or a little bit longer. And same thing, just folding forward. Wherever you are, you want to be in a position that you can hold for a couple of minutes comfortably. And this is a very gentle way just to encourage the heart to arrive above the head, or the head below the heart. And take a couple of deeper breaths here. Allowing this long exhale to drop the weight of the head towards the ground, to soften the neck, soften the space around the face, the eyebrows, the eyelids, and jaw. What's great about this forward fold is that it's also bringing compression into our abdominal cavity, our digestive cavity, so stimulating our digestive tract and internal organs, which when we release helps bring kind of new blood flow, helps move things along.
If you're noticing your mind is floating elsewhere, see if you can encourage it to come into your body, come into your breath. Just take 2 more breaths here. Filling up with as much air as you can in your lungs, maybe even holding it at the top for a moment. And seeing if you can make your exhale longer than your inhale. Start to walk the hands up the legs, lift yourself up. Just very gently. Again, when we have the head below the heart, sometimes we can get a little bit lightheaded as we come up. So we just want to transition out with care. When you feel ready to move, let's just cross the left leg over the right and then simply twist towards the left. You could use the back of the chair to twist open. Coming back through center, cross the legs the other direction, breathing in. And then as you exhale, twisting towards the right. Start to unwind. We're going to come down onto our knees and turn towards the chair. I should also mention that you can probably modify this by using a stool or a bed if you didn't have a chair. Helpful knowing this 5 to 10 minutes into the video, but we're going to walk our knees back and place the elbows on the edge of the seat, bringing the palms together. I'm going to keep walking the knees back, trying to drop our chest down. Down towards the ground, lifting the tailbone high. So this is kind of like a puppy pose variation. Thumbs trail back towards kind of the base of the neck. And just feel free to join in when you're ready. And technically this isn't really an inversion, but it's going to warm us up for what we're going to be doing next. But it's so beneficial for opening the spine, opening the space of the ribs and the chest and the abdominal, the front part of the abdominals, so that we can breathe deeper. Speaking of breath, we'll take about 6 more breaths here. Take another deep breath in. Deep breath out. Start to reach the hands in front of you and then roll yourself up, and you might just like to curl the upper back to counter that quite deep extension through the spine. We're going to come back towards our seat. Now, to do this, you need to have a seat that doesn't have armrests on the side. And if you didn't have a chair like this, then you could use the edge of the bed and bring the rest of the body, the lower body down, and then take the upper body up and over. But you're going to bring kind of the base of your hips to the edge of the seat. And then hands come behind the head. Now you can just keep shifting your hips back if you want more support, letting the chest open to the sky and the elbows drop wide so your hands are there for support. If you felt like a deeper back bend, you could walk your hips back a little bit more so that you're folding back more from the top of the thoracic spine, or the mid thoracic spine. We'll just stay here for another few breaths. Take about 3 more breaths here. And then just very slowly using your hands, maybe grabbing onto the edge of the seat, to walk yourself up. Again, you can just sit down for a moment if you need, just to let your the pressure inside of your body even out a bit more. Our final asana, we're going to come down onto our back, facing towards the seat. And we will bring the legs up. If the knees can get over, that's awesome. But if the chair's a bit high, you could walk yourself back. And then letting the upper body rest down on the ground. And these gentle inversions are amazing for dropping into our parasympathetic nervous system. So our rest and digest, our slow and steady. And this class will finish a little bit differently than we usually do. We will stay in this position, and I encourage you to stay here a little bit longer, even if that's just an extra 5 breaths after this class is finished. Maybe even longer, staying in this stillness. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you sometime soon, maybe on Patreon. From me to you, namaste.